yo. And there we go. It is time for the news to hit and to do some Elliott wave analysis, of course. What's up, everyone? Good to have you here. Let's switch to the chart because it is 2:30 p.m. Central European Time, which means we have some news. So let's see what the volatility brings. I was a little bit slow with my poll, so the ones that are voting right now have an unfair advantage. Gotta say. But okay, here we go. So what we have at the moment here, 2:30 p.m. Central European Time, NFP and unemployment rate. Right, so there's some volatility on the chart. Make sure you trade safe, especially around these hours. Right, price can fake out and do all sorts of crazy stuff. So please be aware of your positions. Have your stop losses in place and take profits and whatnot. Stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. So let's see what we get. Okay. Up first, then down. 42%, 43%. I mean, of course, the down and down first up, those will be the lowest now. But okay, what's up, everyone? What's up? Now, if you see me drinking during the live stream, I just like to let you know that this green bottle is 0.0. I do not drink alcohol, and this is a cider, right? So, FYI. What's up, everyone? Good to have you here. And we immediately came in hot with two members here. Wow. Casper and Media Mobile. Welcome to silver, welcome to gold. Great to have you here. Thanks for joining. Make sure to fill in the form. You've probably seen the form. So make sure to fill in the form. I don't know if anyone shared it. If no one shared it, maybe one of the mods can share the link. But welcome to the team, guys. Welcome to the team. While the music is coming to an end, so let me close Spotify here. Okay, Corey, Carl, welcome. Answer this one, of course, but I'll enlighten you during the analysis. Stays on 2K16. How you doing, man? Beautiful blue badge. Already a member for over a year. Holy moly, right? Adam, Crypto Kidda, what's up? Trading Queen, welcome. Chester B Tester, NTT. Morning from Northern Colorado. Yeah, you just moved as well, eh? Just moved as well. Nice spot. Hopefully you're doing good there. Brahim, Par, Dayan, Sam, welcome, man. Thanks for your email, and we're in touch. We'll be in touch. Madhusanka, welcome. Pomit, Jay Green, Ali. Make sure to hit the like button. Thanks, Corey. Seriga, good to have you here. So, let me know your thoughts, right, about what's gonna happen. Now, just for the fun and giggles, I in Discord put a picture, which is not necessarily based on any in-depth analysis. However, during news, it is not uncommon to have these type of structures, the typical Darth Maul candle. So I was like, imagine, and it is, again, not Elliott Waves related, but, and I mean, at least we got to move up. But this is just a potential idea I had: up, down, weekend price action sideways, then take the lows, and then we'll take it from there. We'll see. We'll see. It's too early, but it's always fun to have an idea of, oh, well, we have some news, so let's see what happens. The bullish CVD divergences locally here also played out as price took out this high here, so the CVDs are on point. Bullish CVDs played out very, very nice, and a little bit of a move up, but we'll see what happens with price. Of course, if you zoom into a 50-minute time frame, it looks like, oh wow, it's such a big move, but actually if you then zoom out, it's still very small, right? Like, we have these type of moves pretty much everywhere during the week, and it is news. Make sure you trade safe around that news. The probabilities mentioned this morning have not changed. I will, of course, shortly move through these folders as well, and also explain the title and the thumbnail of this video during the analysis, which we're going to start with very soon. Okay, so that you know, like, okay, so why is next week? I was doubting, like, am I gonna say today, next week, or this month? And I was like, oh, let me take the middle. I'll take this week or next week, because we will be able to get some more clarity in not a lot of time, not too much time coming. So Rudy, welcome. Talking French, yo. Enchanté, Monsieur Kuhn. Que le vent dessus peut-être te chauffeur le cœur. Look, I'm happy you speak French, maybe Google Translate and all that stuff, but I'm not there yet. You know, bonjour and baguette, toilette. Yanis, hope you're doing well. I'm doing good, Thanks, Yanis. Hoshi, what's up? Catherine, 49K. Maybe. Alan, welcome. Welcome. Okay, shall we start with the analysis? All right, so I'll go through the folders. In the previous video, I went through the similar or same folders, but now we can talk a little bit more about the different structures, because when I make a video, it's to the point, very short, not a lot of time to explain everything, but in live streams I can. Mohip, welcome. Yuri Costa, good to have you here. By the way, about the French, I can speak a bit of French, but I have to get lessons. I gotta get my ass back to school, basically. So we're gonna come back to the lower time frame, but first we go to the higher time frame. All right, stuff is interesting on the higher time frame. Not gonna lie. So of course I covered the higher time frame yesterday as well. What's the time, just to know that? Okay, 12 minutes. Because I think yesterday, was it, or 2 days ago, I spoke about these are monthly support resistance levels. This is monthly support, very well respected, especially on a monthly chart. You can see it in the past. And here is another one all the way down at 30K. Right, what you don't want to see is move below, retest, change structure. That would be considered bearish, of course, similar to what you had over here. Lose it, retest it, and down you went. On the weekly time frame, right, volume profile, similar support, important. If you get back inside this range, no problem, but you want to get in and then move back out again. Preferably not in, retest, change structure. Right? Increases probabilities for the bears. But anyway, what I want to talk about in particular is this volume profile here. So this is the weekly time frame, and as it stands, remains the higher probability, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure, and impulse to the upside. Your wave 4 here, common target area is the yellow box, right? So we definitely have room for wave 4. But at the 0.5, we also have this point of control, which is quite interesting. And this pool, this volume profile pool is even more interesting because of the value area high. Because if you look at the value area high, it actually acted as a consistent support resistance in the channel, right? So we had support over here, resistance over here, support, resistance. So it's actually like a support resistance area in the middle of the range. And then we have a point of control here all the way down at like 42.8K, which by itself is already an interesting area of support. We also have a weekly naked point of control at 43K there, right? So it's definitely some stuff happening. 45 also interesting. But if you do eventually take out this low, 45 and 42, that's pretty much my areas of interest. But it's just a bit of interesting confluence. Do with it whatever you like. Target area for 4 is, of course, quite big, and we still wait for a bit more clarity on the lower time frames. So let's see what we get now. If we then go to the 4-hour time frame, right? So we immediately zoom in. Then on the 4-hour time frame, one of the scenarios here is a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5-wave structure, right? And in this particular diagonal, we would then be looking for a possible A, B, and then a wave C to the downside, a 3-wave structure. And in this case, the wave C target is still a little bit lower. However, if your B goes up, your C target goes up as well. So this is a 5-wave structure. In this case, not yet finished, right? Because all of the waves have to be 3-wave structures in this diagonal, mainly because of your wave 3 here. Right, so we have to count an A diagonal, B is C inside 3, which means that your 1 and your 5 also have to be 3-wave structures. Invalidation, however, is very easy. That's the high of 4. So, you know, simple. We do have some support to the downside also still. Blue box here, 54K to 55.2K. Right. Now, one of the structures that is possible inside your B here is a flat. I spoke about it this morning. And in that particular scenario, if we're looking for a flat structure, we then have our 3-wave A, a 3-wave B, and we look for a 5-wave C. Now, the probabilities are higher. This move down is a 3-wave structure. And that is because of the amount of volume that you have in the low here. If this is an impulse to the downside, we preferably count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 3 has the highest volume, then you get a 4 and another 5. Wave 4 is a range and then a 5 down. The moment you hit the 618, the probabilities increase for this to be a 3-wave structure. They decrease for this to be an impulse. Now this is important because therefore it increases the probabilities that this is quote-unquote a fake low. It's a corrective low, not an impulsive low. So it increases the probabilities to come back down in a later stage and still take out this particular low, which would actually work nicely with the support we have just below as well, because we actually just missed out on hitting the box here, even though we hit the target area for a wave B, which is very nice, nicely respected, perfect. But we did miss out on hitting this area of support here, right? So yeah, anyway, we have a move to the upside. The 618 got touched, always important. Bit of a move to the downside, right? Golden pocket acts as a little bit of resistance. Bullish CVDs played out, price moves up. I mean, if we're looking for a flat, the minimum target preferably is the high of A. We got close, but we haven't actually taken the high of A yet. But of course, a wave B can be any corrective structure, right? Can also be triangles, WXYs, but we were here looking for a flat, and we patiently wait for price to give us more information here. So the probabilities, right, even if we look at this scenario here, the probabilities remain higher to at a later stage still take out that low, as the probabilities are higher to corrective low, not an impulsive low. Now your most bearish scenario is actually a similar price action on the lower time frame, but if you zoom out, you then look for a multi 1-2, right, and continue to the downside. So in other words, the price action is quite similar. The main difference is what happens over here. Do you find support and return back up, or do you continue to the downside? This is a multi 1-2. It's your most bearish scenario by a mile, right, where you then look for immediate downside easily below 49K. Now in this case, of course, the support to the downside, right, first of all, shouldn't hold, but what you want to see is weakness, right? So you want to see high volume moves to the downside, price ranging on support, bearish CVD, losing support, retest as resistance, and down you go, right? Like typical price action around support and resistance areas. Now, why? And this is basically the analysis. We will observe what happens locally. Now, why this is important, these two scenarios, is because of what I wrote in the thumbnail. So of course the title of the live stream at the moment and what's written on the thumbnail is why next week can decide a bull or a bear market. And the reason I wrote that title is exactly this or this. Because if we are looking for price to move down below 49K towards 45, 42. We know 42 is interesting, right? We don't want price to take out 59.8. We want to see a range here and a big wave 3 to the downside. Now, quick side note, it's weekend almost, not yet, but it's almost weekend. And weekend is notorious for sideways price action. So just having the context of the weekend coming up, arguably, the probabilities might be a bit higher to look for support and a bounce here if we do not have a sharp move down before the weekend. All right, so it helps the bulls, in other words, the weekend coming. But generally in the weekend, you just range sideways wherever you are. However, the reason why next week is interesting is, first of all, what you see here. This would, of course, mean bearish scenarios, looking for a lot more downside, right? We do not want this wave 2 to take a lot longer. And the yellow line is a soft invalidation. If price would move above 58.5, that is no problem, because then we would move the orange 2 to the right side, right? And then the orange 2 is a bigger corrective structure in the bearish scenario, and then you move down after, right? Now, based on time, preferably your orange wave 2 finishes before Monday, 10 a.m. Take a fib time from the start to the end of the red 2 to the end of orange 1. And the 1-to-1 here is Monday, 10 a.m. Central European time. Now, preferably, your orange 2 is shorter. But of course, if the orange 2 then finishes or the yellow 2 finishes, we would expect a continuation down, which is then likely to happen next week, right? As you're then looking for a wave 3 to the downside. Now, with regards to the bullish scenario, this diagonal here, right, can be several structures. And the first time I showed this diagonal, I wrote down what this diagonal can be, but I removed it just to make sure to avoid confusion. But I will talk about it in the live stream. So a diagonal can either be leading or ending, meaning it can start a new structure, right? We can count it as a wave. Let me do this. We can count it as a wave 1 or a wave A. And then we get a wave 2 or a wave B. And then you go down in a wave C or a wave 3. A wave A, B, C is bullish because that would be, for example, a daily triangle, right? That's still on the cards. I spoke about it in the past. If you're new, you will see this in my content in the future still. And of course, a 1, 2, 3 is a lot more bearish, as then you look for a continuation to the downside. Right? So you then want to see a corrective structure up. Now, this is important because this has to do with the price action again next week. Right? So if we would test support and instead of failing support, we hold it, right? We see signs of strength. We see impulsive structures to the upside here locally. We see some nice bullish CVDs as well. And price is moving up. We will observe the structure. If it is a corrective structure, 3-wave corrective structure, WXYs, triangles, whatever it is, right? There's many opportunities, flats, zigzags. We're going to be looking for price to then move down. Now, of course, hopefully by next week, we actually have clarity on that continuation or a move towards the upside. Now, for the bulls, it is important, of course, to hold support here. Invalidation 52.8 for this scenario, by the way, right? For the bulls, it's important to hold the support and move up. It at least keeps the bull market, or at least short-term upside, alive, just to, call it like that. And not yet looking for price to then move to the downside of 49K. Now, depending on the structure up that we then get next week, and probably it takes a little bit longer, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, let's say this month, we can get a very good idea on the probabilities of continuation or failure and price moving down. Because if this move is corrective, we look for price to move down. If it is impulsive, we look for price to continue to the upside and take out 65K, right? But that is information that we start getting next week, right? It will take a little bit of time. And then by the time we eventually create hopefully either a lower for the bulls and we get a bit of a retracement and the bears just do this, right? It's very easy. It's a very clear up and downside scenario, right? I know exactly what I'm looking for the bulls and the bears, right? If price would continue to the upside, we also know what happens, but we should have a bit more clarity next week on what's gonna happen, no? For the bears, preferably by the end of next week, you already took the low at 49K, because if this is a multi 1-2, you don't like 1 long 2, 1 2, relatively short. If it's a longer orange 2, that's fine, but you wanna start getting some acceleration to the downside, right? So if by the end of next week you're still ranging over here, I mean, then probably we're looking at this, no? And then we just observe, is this corrective or is this impulsive? Which will give us more clarity on what's coming next, right? More upside or more downside. So that is where the title comes from as well is based on the price action we get the end of this week, and then next week we will have a better idea of continuation down or continuation up, right? Based on hopefully testing support here after some sort of flat or corrective structure, whatnot. That would be step one. Observe the reaction, and if we do move up, is it corrective or impulsive? And that's of course stuff we will analyze on the chart every day. 3 times a day as well. No, for the ones that have been here for a longer period of time, of course. Morning video, afternoon live stream, evening video or live stream. So very, very, very nice. Very nice. Now let's first see if price can actually take out the high, and then we take it from there. We got quite close, but no cigar. From a CVD perspective, let me show this as well, by the way. I have to refresh. 1 second here, it's laggy. Okay. So the bullish CVD divergences, no idea why they're question marks still, but these have played out because price took out the highs here. So that's very nice. Price building market structure to the upside, hitting the 0.618 as explained in the morning update, right? Invalidating that potential wave 4 for an impulse to the downside, continuation, right? Increasing the probabilities for price to take out this high. Now, accompanied with bullish CVD. Pretty neat. And now we have almost taken it. We like a few dollars below, but we'll see. Maybe we get it. But we observe price action. Now, with regards to resistance, if I open my levels, you see that it's a little bit empty here to the upside. So that's something I keep in mind. Daily 57.9, which is quite high. That daily would be in confluence with the 786, as you can see here on the chart. And if I pull a volume profile of the price action here, so we contain this as a range, you can see the value area low is hit, point of control, value area high at 57.5, which is in confluence with the golden pocket. So you have the 786 and you have the golden pocket in confluence with an additional tool, right? So we have this area here, golden pocket, always interesting. And then we have the area here, right? So that's basically like the two main areas to the upside, past these two areas, and you're probably looking for the highs here, no? So step by step. What website did you use for CVD? AGGR. Wait, I'll show you the link. 1 second here. So in Discord, good to know channel. Where is it? Here. That's the link. And then also a couple of templates that are shared here, including the Bitcoin template. And also a one-pager with regards to CVD, what it is, how to use it, and a video on CVD as well. Most viewed video on my channel, actually. It passed 30K now, which is insane. It's nuts, but I love to see it. Love to see people enjoying CVD and educating themselves about CVD. So yeah, very, very nice. No, very, very nice. I think I'm gonna stop the poll because people are still voting, but of course everything already happened. Now, when we started the stream, up and up first, then down were the two highest. So those are gonna be the two that resulted in the highest votes. And now we are gonna no, Discord is for free, guys. It's for free. We don't do the paid shit here, right? Like that's I hate it when content creators have like, oh, I have a Discord channel, I have a community, but it's paid. No, it's not paid, mate. It's free. Just click on the link and enjoy, right? I'm active there, many people active there. People ask questions. Mod can answer questions, and no worries. Just have fun, right? We do manage it very tightly. The moment a bitch comes in, the bitch is out very quick as well, right? So if someone destroys the vibe, we have no problem with very easily removing that person from the group. So you know, everyone should have a place where they can be themselves, ask questions, and don't don't get stupid comments from other people or, you know, that sort of stuff. So it's a very nice vibe in the group. There's a great amount of people helping each other out, and that's exactly what we like in the group as well. So feel free to join, ask as many questions as you like, and yeah, hopefully you learn a thing or two as well. So okay, let me Elliott wave analysis at 12, I think like 12:30 or something, was it? Now chatting and a Q&A. Pin the message. Let me also turn this on because sometimes, you know, people like to click the buttons. Okay, there we go. Yep, it works. Okay, so let me have a look here. If anything happened. What's up, Mark? Welcome. Maybe a band-aid. How are you guys doing? Raccoons. Yo, so whenever I introduce myself to someone and they're like, wait, your name is Koen. How? And they can't say it, like Koen. They're like, wait, what is your name? And then I say, well, in the past I said it's like cocoon, but then the second part, like cocoon, Koen. You write it different, but it's the same pronunciation. Nowadays, if I meet someone out there, I'm like, raccoon, second part of a raccoon, because of the like community, right? Like people start to call it raccoons. And Jeroen, so first of all, for the ones that don't know, I mean, if you do enter Discord, you can as well just know it. If you do a double dot and you write emoji, now we have to eventually, like this is step one, okay? We're always evolving. But Adam in the group, one of the mods here, he's online. Maybe he's in the chat. I haven't seen him just yet, but or I think he was the first one actually joining. But he made these emotes, and now Jeroen is creating some emojis as well, because these here are awesome. First of all, and these are very realistic raccoons. And then you have some other emotes. The one with the cap over here, that's more cartoony, more artistic in a way. So Jeroen is trying his best to replicate some of these and create different emotes. Now those are raccoons, right? So the raccoon animal is like the mascot a little bit, like, you know, but yeah, we're working on it. When the emojis and stuff are finished, I'll make sure to write a post somewhere. Good evening. Are you enjoying the French Ocean live? Yes. Enjoying the weather, enjoying the ocean, but mainly also enjoying the mountains. I love the mountains. We also took the high, by the way, so the probabilities of this morning have played out. We love to see it. 45 to 100 is the 2021 VWAP as well. Okay, yeah, so some more confluence. I also heard someone talking about the 100 weekly moving average. I think that's sitting at about 42. Apparently it was hit in 2016 and 2019 as well. So interesting area of confluence. What's up, Joe? How are you doing? Welcome. Hoshi talking Dutch. Florian, welcome. Did some fast trade with and it went right. What the fuck? Good job, Thunderin. Make sure you trade safe, right? Good risk management is important. Sibel, welcome. Good to have you here. Yesterday, you joined right at the end. I was still late to see it. I already went to my ending screen, but good to have you here a little bit earlier today. Answer this question already. Bitcoin to 5K, Bitcoin to 0. Target for C and 5. So the target for a wave C, if we are looking for a flat, right? So of course, this morning, probabilities, right, were higher if you do hit the 618 to take out the high. So those have now played out, right? And now with price moving up, we again observe the reaction, right? That's of course most important. We identify our areas of interest, and then we look for the reaction, right? We observe the reaction. Now with regards to the target area, let me see for what's the highest point here? This one. So the 1.618 here. Oops. 1.618 here. And let me pull an alternative as well. 1.618 here. Now, your most preferred target area would be between the two 1.618s. The lower 1.618, right? It depends where does A start, right? We can count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is the end, then this is where you start A. So you have A, B, and then you look for 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 in a wave C to the upside, no? But then your target is ever so slightly different. So let's say it's like this 1.618. It's basically, what's nice is the two resistance areas are included in the target area for your wave C. So 1.618 is a trend-based fib extension pool. The other one is a normal Fibonacci pool. And that's how you then get them on the chart to create an area of interest. So I answered the Discord question, of course, absolutely free. Everyone is welcome to interact, to check, to enjoy, whatever you like to do. There's a lot of educational material in Discord as well, so make sure to check all the channels. It's very active. There's a lot happening, yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy it. Why are we pumping? I mean, of course, there's always different reasons. People buying, people getting liquidated on the short side, right? That's also upside. Absorption of market shorts with limit longs, news, right? So a reason that can have multiple different reasons, actually. Do harmonic patterns generally work well in confluence with Elliott waves? Yes. I personally don't use harmonics because by the time I learned about harmonics, I already mastered Elliott waves. So it, like it doesn't really benefit me in a way. But in the end, the price action, because if you know Elliott waves, of course, harmonics, can they complement you? Yeah, but I guess it's more important to use harmonics in your development in Elliott waves, because once you know Elliott waves, then harmonics are based on Elliott waves. So it's like, I prefer to use Elliott waves than the harmonics, but you can use them together. If you are good in harmonics or you're studying Elliott waves, I guess harmonics will give you a slight edge. Of course, it means you're learning about two things at the same time. So it's divided attention, which might limit your learning in one direction, both either the harmonics or Elliott waves. But it can be useful to know about harmonics at least. As it requires some brainwork, don't speak of people. Oh, sometimes, like once in a blue moon, we just ban some people. I have a lot of patience. We keep a very good eye on what's happening in the group. And yeah, I mean, once in a while, you always have someone joining where immediately from the beginning, we're like, okay, we're going to keep an eye on this person. And when things go too far, usually there's one warning and then it's just ban, just get out. I really don't care about, like, if one person is messing things up, I don't care about one person. I care about the whole community. What about the Z? Are you talking about a WXYXZ or are you talking about my name, Koens? The Z has a story to it. That's why the Z is attached to my name. But I'm not sure if you talk about Elliott waves or my, like, Koens with the Z. Then finish the correction. Yes, that is indeed one of the things that we keep an eye on at least. So that is why we have that diagonal as well. And 67, 68, it would be interesting from a psychology point of view. That's why I definitely like to keep an eye on it. Because just like we did previously, already 3 times, down, almost took the high, down again, almost took the lower high, down again, almost took the lower high, down again, not almost. Could we still get an almost, another lower high, and then another lower low, right? Like, just keep wrecking people on both sides, no? So yeah, that would be very interesting from a psychology point of view. But that means that from an Elliott wave point of view, of course, what we're looking for is what I mentioned, is we look for support. Price holding support, price moving up, bullish CVDs, good structure to the upside, preferably impulsive moves to the upside as well. So we can get the volume, right, to take out 65. So, but from a psychology point of view, yeah, it's very interesting. If you have a look on the 50-min, how would you count an impulse in the current move up? Wave 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 still to come. There is this your Uber crypto phase with crypto by looking at massive outflows from Bitcoin. And yeah, I mean, you have people, look, you have people that talk about zero and you have people that talk about 500 million per Bitcoin. Just don't stop following both of these, right? Stop following the extremes, following the people in the middle, right? The people that don't talk about 500, like whatever random like bullshit numbers to the upside, but also the people that talk about like bullshit numbers to the downside. Because it's so irrelevant. It's so like how you're going to use this for your trading, right? It just makes people scared. It makes people emotional. It doesn't help anyone in their trading. Like apocalypse for crypto. I mean, maybe, but we will know because the waves will tell us. No, CVD will tell us. Price action will tell us. Fibs will tell us. But it doesn't make sense to talk about we go down to 10K. We're at 56K, right? Now, of course, you have those type of people that say they like draw a couple of months in advance or years in advance, right? Generally, like a very long time in advance. They are on their chart drawing like 20 different scenarios. Like one is this, and one is this, and one is this, and one is this, and one is this. And then eventually, like 10 years later, they're like, oh, look, price followed my squiggly line. And I was the first one on crypto Twitter to identify this structure. And I'm like, man, that's so stupid, yo. So look, we don't care about those like the mega bears and the mega bulls and all that shit. I don't follow anything crypto related. I don't watch any other analysis or analyst. I just do my own thing and hopefully people enjoy it here. But I very much recommend you to do the same. Stay with the level-headed guys. Don't go to the mega bulls and the mega bears because 9 out of 10 times those are the ones that are gonna wreck you if you at least follow advice, which you by all means should not do, but they play with your emotions, right? Bitcoin going to zero, Bitcoin going to, it doesn't matter. And also, by the way, if there are, of course, those analysts that have a squiggly line and then 1 year later they're like, oh, look, you know, price followed my line. Generally, it's very bad Elliott wave analysis as well. Because if you are way too early, right? So if you are like, oh, we're going to form a mega big diagonal and you only have a wave 1 finished and your wave 1 is a 3-wave structure, right? You may have some people talking about, ooh, we're going to create a diagonal. But if you have a 3-wave structure to the upside, which is then labeled a 1, there's no way, period, that a first zigzag 3-wave structure to the upside has the highest probability of becoming a very big leading diagonal. Like, there's absolutely no chance. Your highest probability is going to be a single ABC to take out the low. The moment you get a 3-wave to the downside, probabilities are higher, depending on how deep this goes, for a flat A, B, C, or a sideways WXY. The moment you move towards the upside with another zigzag, probabilities are higher for a WXY. If you then move down for another zigzag, this is where then the probabilities increase for a diagonal after 4. So it's actually really bad Elliott wave analysis the moment people start talking too early about certain scenarios only to say I was the first. But it's actually very bad Elliott wave counting to do exactly that. But they want to be the first, but it's at the same time, it's actually very bad counting, because by the time you wrote it for the first time, there's no chance for it to have the highest probabilities, period. Right? Because you didn't have enough information to say it's the highest probability. Yeah. It's very, like, of course, you know, crypto Twitter and stuff, it's an interesting world that I try to stay far away from. YouTuber, I'm curious here. Why did you choose the blue background? The chart contrast is sometimes difficult to read on small phone. I like blue. Blue is my favorite color. Cap is blue. My shirt is blue. You can't see it. It looks black, but it's actually dark blue. I have blue shoes on at the moment. Wait. Okay, my underwear is not blue, but you know, I like the color, and I like a gradient as well to contrast with the gray and the dark orange. Actually, It is. And it's not red. It's actually orange. So it's just, yeah. And of course, blue is also the color in Koens. Koens is green and blue and white, but yeah, that's why it's blue here. Jay, good to have you here, man. Welcome, welcome. Coming back once again. Nice to see you in a couple of live streams. You always talk about 6 steps, but where did you learn the 6 steps? Tough experience, let me tell you. So first of all, I never learned the 6 steps anywhere. It's just my experience. It's my personal journey in crypto that got me from being an absolute noob to being a consistently profitable, successful trader. And because I have lived through that journey, I can help people to know, okay, what are the steps? What are you going to do to get there, right? At least based on my story. And the 6 steps for people, by the way, because it's the 6 steps are public, but in Diamond it's more detailed, and I share files, and I share also my plans and how I created certain strategies, so it's a lot more detailed. But the 6 steps in a nutshell, right? Step 1 is build experience with the tools in TradingView, right? TradingView is free. Just build experience with the tools. The tools can be found on the left here. You can favorite them, get the bar in the middle. Get experience with some indicators and whatnot. I never use indicators except for CVD, which is actually not on TradingView. The only reason I have these here, this, watermark is for Koens, and all the other stuff, volume, well, of course I use volume, but all the other stuff is examples I sometimes use to answer questions. I don't use any of these really. But just build experience with TradingView. So step 1, build experience. Step 2 is find your favorite tools and then start building statistics. Now, this is where most people, unfortunately, give up because collecting data, collecting statistics takes time. It's boring. It's not actively trading. You can actively trade on the sideline, right? But the focus should be building statistics, which means that, for example, if you have the VWAP, right? I don't know where the VWAP is at the moment, but let's just imagine the VWAP was like that, whatever, and then we go down. So price moved down and then went up, went to the VWAP and rejects. I have no idea where the VWAP is, but just for an example. Now, based on data, right? If the VWAP is an interesting tool to you, you got to build data, which means you can make statements and then collect data. So if the VWAP is hit, do we get a reaction? Yes or no? If we get a reaction, how much percentage? And then you write down, was it 0.5% reaction, 1%, 3%, 5%, 10%, so that you get an idea of, hey, if the VWAP is hit, what's the reaction commonly, right? How often does it go 5%? How often does it react 1%? If there's a wick through the VWAP, right? If I put my stop loss 1% above the VWAP, or 0.5%, or 0.25%, or 2%, does it get hit? Yes or no, right? And this is how, based on statements, you collect data. Unfortunately, many people don't want to do this, but I really recommend it. There's no shortcut in trading success. So step 2 is find your favorite tools and build statistics. Step 3 is combine some of your favorite tools, maybe a VWAP, Golden Pocket Fibonacci, and volume, right? Combine some of your favorite tools, build statistics on the combination. So if the Golden Pocket is hit and the VWAP is in the Golden Pocket, and you have a high volume spike moving into the Golden Pocket and the VWAP, what does it do, right? Oh, you collect data. So you collect more statistics, step 3. Step 4 is tweak and adjust. So add a tool, remove a tool, see what it does with your statistics, your win rate, risk-reward ratio, your other data. Step 5 is you start trading your strategy with a low amount of money and you work on your trading psychology, right? So trading, the mental game of trading, book is in the description, is absolutely recommended. And then you have step 6, which is increasing your portfolio size slowly so you get used to bigger losses, right? Not to bigger wins. Getting used to bigger wins is easy. Getting used to bigger losses, that's what's going to mess you up. So the 6 steps are based on my experience as a trader from the very beginning to basically where I am today. And then after step 6, you are always going to be in step 4. So after all the steps are finished and you trade your strategy, you're always going to try to improve a strategy or build new strategies, right? So either build new means you start at the beginning, or if you're going to refine your existing strat, you're going to be in step 4. I do not show any trades. I'm not a signal channel. I only explain from an Elliott wave point of view why certain setups are interesting in the setups channel, which is, I think, the second or third link in the description. It's free, right? So I know that people, first of all, you need to learn Elliott waves, but then second, how do you trade Elliott waves? And sometimes I then write a post about a potential setup, and then I explain why is this interesting from an Elliott wave point of view, right? What are we looking for? Why is that like the stop loss there, or the TP, or whatever, like why this entry? Sometimes in a lot of detail, sometimes less detail, but it should help people to identify setups themselves in the long run, right? So that is why I do. But by no means at all am I ever going to do signals. It's not part of my my goal with the channel here, which is very much focused on helping people to fish for themselves instead of me fishing for them. What's your upload and live schedule? A normal, check the banner, actually. I guess that's the easiest question. Morning video, afternoon Central European time, afternoon live stream, evening video / live stream, depends on price action, usually a video. Weekend, absolutely random, sometimes no video, sometimes video. Very much depends on what I do in the weekend, with friends, with family, with my wife, with activities. And then Sunday is always the altcoin stream, and if I can't do it on Sunday, I always inform everyone it's going to be somewhere during the following week. Can you show up? Okay, so I answered that question already. Bats and butterflies. The only harmonic I remember is the Golden Pocket 786, and then you go. I don't know the name, but it's just I remember the Golden Pocket 786. Do you have sometimes the feeling that most possible Elliott wave scenario can predict news? Yes, I can easily use Elliott waves without being aware of the news. I just like to be. So first of all, I don't know what the news means, but I like to be aware of it because of volatility. So I don't care about this. I don't even know what non-farm payrolls is, right? I only look at, tradingeconomics.com, go to the agenda, high impact US only. I look at the times, and that's all the information I need. I need the day and I need the time. I don't care about anything else, because this here tells me, okay, there might be some volatility. So I know that from a trader's perspective, I have to manage my trades. This morning, before there was any news, the probabilities, as mentioned, if you hit the 618, probabilities are higher to take the high. Now we have the news, right? Before the news came, we hit the 618 and we moved down slightly, and now we took the high. So it played out perfectly before the news happened, right? So I don't really care about news from an Elliott wave point of view, just from a volatility point of view. Yeah, it's important from a volatility point of view. No. To see a volume, yeah. I can't see based on the volume indicator on TradingView if it's liquidations or if it is positions opening. You would need to check open interest, and you can do that on Coinalyze, ExoCharts, or ATAS. But I don't look at open interest. It's not interesting for my trading strategy, so it's not something I keep an eye on. So you can check this move up. Of course, we have an increased amount of volume, but you can check if open interest is increasing or decreasing, and then also check the longs and shorts separately. CVD on the higher time frames? No, CVD on higher time frames are not relevant because somehow CVD always goes down. The 15-minute is more interesting. So if you have bullish CVD on, let's say, a 4-hour time frame, but then on the 15 minutes you have constant bearish CVD, the bearish CVD has priority. For the 4-hour bullish CVD to increase in probabilities of playing out, you first need to change the market structure on the 15 with bullish CVDs included. And once the 15 changes with bullish CVDs, that is when a 4-hour bullish CVD becomes relevant. Could you ask the viewers? Okay, this is interesting. Could you ask the viewers if they noticed the difference in live stream announcement? Did they receive a notification and when? Yeah, so today, yesterday and today, guys, I put the live stream in like the YouTube planning, in the planning. I don't know, like I planned the live stream ahead of time instead of just going live randomly. First of all, does it help you? All right, let me go down here. Does it help you? Do you get a notification? Like what do you think about it? Hopefully it helps people to know better when I'm there, when I'm not there. Yeah. Navy blue, exactly. I like navy blue. My wedding suit was navy blue. Can you repeat the 6 steps? Yes. Okay, this is going to be like we should make a short about this. 1 minute. Step 1. Build experience with the tools and indicators on TradingView. Step 2, find your favorite tools and build statistics. Step 3, combine some of your favorite tools and build more statistics on the combination, right? Now you're really building a strategy. Step 4 is tweak and adjust that set of tools. Add a tool, remove a tool, and see what it does with the data and the statistics. Is it improving or is it not improving, right? Because now you're trying to improve your win rate, risk to reward, that sort of stuff. Step 5 is start trading your strategy with a low amount of money. Work on your trading psychology. Step 6 is increase your portfolio size slowly so you get used to bigger losses. Bigger wins is easy. May I ask what the TOO indicator is? That I can write my name on the chat or on the chart. So it's just that I can have koenztrading here. Exactly, Andrew. Andrew is such a champ. Got it written down. BB, why not decent before? Of course, we all wait for altcoin season, but it's not a fun. Yeah. Always have a plan. Absolutely. Good morning, Hodl Crypto. Good morning. Bonjour. Hopefully you have a good day. Hodl Crypto always says thanks, merci. So I always reply with pleasure, de rien. Statistics and hopium all a man needs. Statistics for sure. Yeah. What's up, Bearmarket? Good to have you here. Also nice that you changed your name to actual Bearmarket. If you haven't seen, Bearmarket is, first of all, let me tell you a little story. So, of course, I do Elliott waves, right? But I do Elliott waves because of Bearmarket. So, Bearmarket and we know each other. Oh, prepping, by the way. So, answering the question of crypto stuff. So, we are thinking about, of course, Bearmarket, potential threat, because I got questions about it. But that, that's stuff we're working on. But a short question, or not a question, story. So back in the day, years back, Bearmarket was in the market for a couple of months. I came in the market, we were in a community, that's where we got to know each other, and then we started writing in DMs, and he got me in touch with Elliott waves because he shared a post of an Elliott wave analysis, like a screenshot of TradingView, and I got interested, and that's where my rabbit hole started. So Bearmarket is solidly responsible for me getting into the Elliott wave rabbit hole. Okay, so there you go. But Bearmarket also has a very interesting trading style, and he has been sharing a lot. Oh, by the way, Bearmarket, yo. There's a reason we never share these in the group. No, we never share profit pictures because it does more bad than good in communities. I can link you to it, like if I go to Wise. Yeah, check out this post if you look for Wise. I literally explained it here. But anyway, in the Bitcoin TA group, he has been writing a lot of stuff that is incredibly interesting, right? So we scroll up. Of course, he has to sleep as well. Yo, I'm going to remove all of these very soon. But anyway, if we scroll up, here's like one, like this was today at 4 a.m. I don't know if this guy ever sleeps, but he writes a lot of stuff and shares a lot of data, which is very interesting, of course, to many people in the group. So they've been asking, like, yo, is there a possibility Bearmarket can have his own thread? So yeah, we're talking and thinking about it. But yeah, so yeah, here we are. Of course, I got in touch with Elliott Waves through Bearmarket, and then years later, here we are, because I loved everything Elliott Waves. Still do. The word bear market scares me. I have a full spot of altcoins. Make sure you have a plan and a strat, right? In the analysis here, towards the end of the analysis, I explained what I'm looking for, because when we talk about bear market, right, we talk about pretty much price moving to 45, 42 first, and then we'll take it from there. But I explained what I'm looking for and how Elliott Waves impacts the probabilities of going down there or moving up. So everything has been done in the analysis here. To answer our French question, total open interest increasing, net longs increasing, and some short liquidations. Okay, there you go. Thanks, Carl. So open interest increasing, net longs increasing. So people are opening positions here, and a couple of short liquidations helping the move towards the upside. So, yo, Matt Eagle, how you doing? I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. So far, so good. Nice little bit of news here on the chart. A little bit of volatility. And yeah, enjoying ourselves. Trying to answer as many questions as I can. I believe the CVD video only has so many views because it automatically starts playing when you click on the channel on desktop. That's one of the reasons. Second is that I used that video as a end screen video. However, most of the views of the video come from YouTube search. So if I go to my statistics, 1 second here, and I go to my content and I go to the CVD video, 1 second, I got a beginner searching all my videos. There we go, beginner guide CVD, and then I go to my analytics overview, and then we have 32.7k views. That video alone is responsible for 474 subscribers. Average view duration is 3.5 minutes, which is normal. Like the more people watch it, the lower it becomes. But here you go. The top traffic sources, right? So in the last 48 hours, 229 people have viewed that video. Out of the 229 in the past 48 hours, 54.1% came from YouTube search, 13.5% through browse features. So that's not the channel, right? This is only YouTube. Browse is your homepage, right? Or the videos on the right side of a video that you're watching. And YouTube search is, of course, search. 7% is direct or unknown. I guess that's going to be like Discord or people sharing the video. And then 7% is channel page, right? So that's only 7. And then external is another 7. And oh wait, is this since published or not? Wait, let me go to reach. Yeah, so okay, no, that's the last 28 or 48 hours. And since published, can I share this somehow? Wait. Yeah. Okay, coming. 1, 2, boom. So CVD video, right? This is since published, and then you can see here YouTube search 42.6, browse features 15.4, channel page 11, right? End screens 10, direct 8, others 12. I guess others must be like Discord and that sort of stuff. So yeah, actually my channel page is only responsible for 11%. YouTube search and browse features together are like 58%. So yeah, nice. Nice. So most of the people look for CVD and they find my video. There's a lot of fear out there. That's what we like to hear. Equals opportunity. Why Bitcoin Pump? We have a lot of CVD bear on the 3 minute. Usually a big M is like 3 months, but let's see. There's no bearish CVDs at the moment. Doesn't mean you can go down or up, but you know. Moving up, of course, buyers, market shorts, absorbed by limit longs, some news, many reasons. My Red Bull have finished watching you live. BBL, get some water. Get some water. Oh, I still have my drink. I actually forgot about it. 0%, by the way, guys. 0%. Toertel twist. It's like Radler in the Netherlands. It's great. But if you choose the Elliott wave count as your favorite, you still have to study for months. Correct. If you use Elliott waves, things go a little bit different. So I trade Elliott waves, but I also have a strategy developed based on data and statistics because it helped with my psychology back in the day. Right. So if you want to solely focus on Elliott waves alone without any other tool or strat, then it's all about, of course, learning Elliott waves, which means step one is still building experience with all the tools. But then you don't have to track data and statistics. So instead, you have to learn Elliott waves using these steps. So basically, step one would be build experience with TradingView. Step two, get a notebook and a pen, go through the whole website, make notes, and also draw all the patterns. And then step three is implement your knowledge on new charts while still studying and going back to your notes, right? I would also recommend to summarize your notes. And then it's just back to the theory, back to the chart, back to the theory, chart. And then you just improve. I also recommend starting with simple impulses and corrective structures and only go into WXYs later. That is for Satoshi. Do you keep an eye on volume? I mean, news generally has high volume, so it's not really providing me with too much information. I mean, the volume itself, you're going to be thinking C or 3. But it's like around news, price tends to move quite, of course, like volatile. So I generally like to wait patiently. And yeah, volume can be used, right? High volume up, but you think, oh, it's corrective C or Y, or you're going to be okay, wave 3. My like was the first. Thanks, Mark. Hi, Senate. How you doing, man? How you doing? Welcome from Bosnia. Good to have you here. Is that a swing failure pattern of the highs? The second red candle is the swing failure pattern. The first gray here was not. This is a swing failure of the gray candle. Sam, thanks, man. Happy to help and hopefully teach people a thing or two. Wait, where was the comment? Oh, here. I didn't see another content maker speaking about CVDs. Yeah, I actually don't know if it's if it's famous or not, but oh boy, it's like the best tool ever. I love it. Yeah, I mean, I'm biased. I use it all the time, but it's so good. It's so good. CVD is the best indicator, in my opinion, easily beating any other. Hassan, how you doing? Take into account how much Radler and other you drink for the sake of, I speak from my, not much. I always drink water. It's just that on live streams, I tend to like Toertel Twist here. But no, I drink water all the time. So I drink water, mostly still water. When I'm at restaurants, still or sparkling water, and then at home we do always have like this as well, Toertel Twist. What did your wife think about you starting to trade? What did she? So I mean, what did she think when I started to trade? It's just like supportive. Like we are both entrepreneurs, and I saw trading as an opportunity to make money. Like, this is of course where it all starts, right? Oh, make money anywhere in the world, and la la la. And she's always been very supportive. Like, I see an opportunity, I study for it, I try it. However, it's also, of course, risk management and a plan. So if I would be stupid and lose so much money that, for example, like you're gonna limit your lifestyle or whatever, yeah, she won't be happy, But that's never been the case. I've always kept my real life in mind. Only once have I risked everything, which was the best and most stupid trade. Like, it was my first trade ever, and I made a lot of profit with that one trade, at least a lot for me back in the day. But I risked everything. I walked away with a lot of profit, luckily. But after that, I lost all that profit, and that's when I started studying. But she's always been supportive. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. She's like someone I can talk to discuss business ideas and discuss trading. And even though she doesn't know shit about trading, if I explain to her this and this happened, and back in the day I've lost all my profit, then she is there for me, right? And she will guide me in a way as well, like, hey, like, you made a lot of money, you lost it all, right? No problemo, but then start about the plan, and she's gonna ask questions, and then it makes me think. It first of all makes me calm, and then makes me think about how to approach moving forward. So it's like we're like a business coach for each other, right? We're both in business. In business, you can win and you can lose, right? I have started multiple businesses in the past, and most failed. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. But with trading, I saw the opportunity. But at the beginning, when I was a big noob, of course, I didn't know shit, right? So I didn't have a plan, didn't have a strat, was mega emotional. The only YouTube channels I viewed were the Moon Boys all the time, right? And they're absolutely shit in what they do. So, yeah. But then I started educating myself, building a plan, and that took 1 year, 1.5 year before I got like part one of my trading strategy, and then developing from there. And that's where things started to move forward, right? So, yeah, what does she think about me trading? Nowadays, of course, very happy. But back in the day, it was more supportive, guidance. Of course, we had our limits, right? With, okay, you don't do this or that. But yeah, more like guidance, support. Soda's a silent killer, yes. I never drink Coke or that sort of stuff, I've created my custom Elliott with Excel sheet with multiple tabs for one of each type of pattern. That's indeed very good. Also to have sheets in Excel, that's interesting. Usually it's like PDF or stuff. Because the CVDs here played out, by the way, I'm not interested in any new bullish CVD. Right? Only interested in CVD on the right side of the newest high. All family loves you. Antoine Cheese, welcome to the channel, and say hi to your family, man. Thanks. That's really cool. Yeah, so the swing failure pattern is the red candle over the gray one here. Is it possible market follow some algo? This won't help you in your trading. So in my case, do I know how the market moves? Yeah, buying and selling. Are there bots involved? Yeah, there's also bots, but also retail, also market makers, and it's a whole industry. However, the nice thing about being a day trader or a trader in general, you don't have to know how the market moves. What you need you need a plan, right? You don't need to know why do we go up? Why do we go down? Like, is it AI? Is it bots? Is it this? Is it that? Is it manipulation and all the waffle stuff, right? Like, it doesn't matter because it doesn't help you. Instead of thinking about how does it move from an, is it manipulation or that sort? Of course, the how can be price action, order flow, the DOM. That's interesting because now you're going to look in the candle and you're going to extract knowledge from the candle, right, to put into a trading system. But external factors like it's manipulation, or it's the stars are not aligned, or whatever, like things, especially the one that triggers me always is manipulation. Oh, the market is manipulated. Yeah, and how are you going to use this in your trading style? You know what I mean? So with regards to algo, there's absolutely algorithms and bots involved, but knowing that what you're going to do, right? So what you need is to build a plan based on data and statistics to try and take your piece of the pie, right, and take out that little bit of take like that little bit of profit every time you enter a trade. And sometimes you'll lose, right? As long as down the line you make profit, everything is good. The latest trends, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate it. You have a beautiful logo and name as well. You should mention while talking and tell us to hit the likes to help your channel. More likes, you better rank since people liking it. Yeah, that's where Mark is for. I tend to not really ask for stuff in return. I mean, people know how YouTube works. They know where the like button is. They know where the comment section is. If people like it, they can like it. I never really ask for that stuff. I don't know. I'm also not someone that puts that in the middle of a video. I just want to deliver the best content I can, and then at the end I always say, thanks for watching. Like, wait, what's the text? I always say, I hope this video was helpful or valuable to you. Please check out the blah blah blah, and then at the end, thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you at the next one. I don't in the middle of the video stop the video and be like, please press the like or subscribe. Like, people know how YouTube works, so yeah. But I know where you're coming from. But so far, I also don't really look too much at the numbers. The channel has grown really fast in the past 1.5 years, from 0 to where we are today. So I don't know. I do something good. But I'm actually happy that I don't have to do this in the content as well. I just want to deliver the best content I can, answering questions in streams, focus on the analysis, and if people like it, they'll find their way. They know where the buttons are. Supportive wife, yes. Back in the day, of course, girlfriend. When I started with my journey. Thanks, Bearmarket. Of course, back in the day, I was a noob. But as you continue with Elliott ways, you become better. A doctor is not a professional, right? Like when you are at your first day of university. Am I right that you're analyzing procedures? First, look for the most common patterns, pick up from there. Then when you don't see the most common patterns. How do I analyze in putting it in a sentence? It's actually an interesting question because nowadays my brain is just like ta 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 ta, boom, finished. You know what I mean? Like I don't really think about it, but generally it's best to first look at simple structures before complex structures, right? That's more like a general advice. But of course, besides the structure, I also use the volume and the fibs and the targets, and I use CVD in confluence with. So first look for common and then pick it up from there. Yeah, I guess I first look at common structures because that is generally recommended before moving into WXYs and more complex structures. But of course, when the opportunity is there to talk about a complex structure, I'll of course share it. And invalidations should be known. And of course, you don't need to hit an invalidation before changing probabilities for a scenario, because new price action is formed every time. And based on new price action, the probabilities continuously change. So you don't necessarily need to invalidate a scenario to still change probabilities. WY, big win. Oh man, I have to catch up. Is it possible to count as WX on 4-hour time frame from 26th of August? From the 49k low, yes. 26th of August, 4-hour time frame, WXY. That's the move towards the downside. Well, in that case, you would need to have some sort of a double zigzag here, of course, WX, and then have a Y to the downside, where basically you're going to be looking for a low, because you're going to have a zigzag, correction, and then an ABC. But preferably in that case, your C is already in. This is a 5-waver, 3-wave up, 5-waver. But now we made a low, and the probabilities are higher. This low is based on a 3-wave structure, so it's a corrective low, higher probability, compared to an impulsive low. Lowering the probabilities that this is the end of a WXY. So in that case, you would need to have a WX, and then A, B, and then C has to become some sort of a diagonal, but that means you need a 3-wave structure in here, not a 5-waver, which at the moment it looks a bit 5-wave, I mean, is there a possibility? Sure, but the price action remains the same, that preferably you take the low. In that case, you like to look for support, right, as mentioned in the analysis, and see price move up. And then based on the move up, we can analyze, what's going to be next. Is there a reason why you don't read my messages? No. If I missed your messages, it might be because there's a lot of chatting, but I don't know where I missed your message. Maybe it didn't appear, right? Because of a banned word in your message, because your last message has not been seen for a long time, as you can see. The second 2 hits the 886 on the 15 min when you want to count a 1 2 1 2. What you want me to say, like, this is a statement, it's not a question, right? And there's many comments. So if a second 2 hits the 886, right, it's something to keep in mind, but not an invalidation. It's more interesting that this move down now happened after the highest amount of volume in the high. So now the probability is increased. This move up is corrective, unless you have a triple 1 2 here. But just the probabilities that I mentioned in my video here haven't changed, also with this move to the upside. But no, there's never a reason I skip comments. However, the more people start watching the videos, the more you have to get used to me being selective, because I won't have time to answer everything in a lot of detail. Yo, Corey. Have a good night as well. One more night shift to go. Okay, and then weekend. Good luck. Good luck. Bearish CVD on the 1 minute. Nice one. Nice one. Nice one. Exactly at the high as well. That's what we like to see. Is it possible a WXY and W? No. It's not allowed. You cannot, in wave W and wave Y, you cannot have internally a WXY. Wave W can only be a flat or a zigzag, and wave Y can only be a flat, zigzag, or triangle. And most common in Y is a zigzag or a flat. Did someone say chocolate? I did now. Chocolate is nice. Do you have uploaded any setup videos of Elliott waves? No. Because I do not provide signals in such a way. I can use past content, like past price action, to explain reasonings of why enter here or there. But I think it is more important people learn, first of all, the theory. And if they're interested in really like how to trade Elliott waves, they can always just ask questions as well. Could be interesting to maybe do like a short series of why did I enter this position here or there. But that's exactly what the setups channel is for, which is absolutely free. Link in the description. As well as in Diamond, I share some of the strat side trade myself as well. So a lot is out there already. On the CFD template, do you usually look more at the... both are important. I don't look at one more than the other. I use them in confluence with one another. Is the expanding flat in being validated? Yes, because wave C has to be a impulse. And this now is either a finished, like, no, this can't be, price retrace so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 and 4 have overlap. So unless it is an expanding diagonal structure, which is very rare, a wave C to the upside is very unlikely at the moment. We did take out the high, which was the goal, so that's nice. Probabilities played out. Do you know Vijay Mallya? No. Yo, pleasure, Mario. Also welcome. Good to have you here. Always a pleasure. You got kids? No, don't have kids. Ramsey, as always, thanks for your mentorship and insight. Really helpful to have statistical probability in order to think about trading. Still struggling to formulate a proper plan, but it will reach out. Takes time to formulate a good plan, right? Like, it's not easy to build a plan. It usually takes a lot of time. It's not something that happens in a week. But the ones out there that are committed to becoming a consistently profitable trader, those are the ones that will push through that period of spending hours and hours and hours collecting data or studying something. So it will take time, right? It's step by step, but that's why there are 6 steps. And you're going to get there, man, Ramsey. You will, right? I'm sure you will. Are you sure you will? Well, I think you are. And if you know, like, okay, this is something I want to do, I'm confident I can make it, you will find that motivation to every day try to work on a plan. And it goes very slow. I know everything about it, but it's really good to have a plan. Would love an in-depth video about your analyzing procedure. That would be immensely helpful. What you talk about probably is my trading procedure, because my analyzing procedure is, of course, what I post every day in my content. But with regards to my entry procedure, that's diamond. If I'm new to Elliott Wave, so how to learn quickly and in a systematic way. The word quickly probably goes out of your vocabulary, because Elliott Waves cannot be learned quickly. It will take you minimum a year, probably longer. I would probably think 1.5 to 2 years. And then hopefully, right, that's hopefully after 2 years, you're going to be able to count very fast, attach probabilities to your counts, and be able to trade it. And that's a hope. So how to learn as quickly as you can. I went over that. Step 1, get a note. First of all, learn the tools in TradingView. But then step 1 is get your notebook out, right? And a pen. Look at the links in the description, Elliott Wave Education, right? So there's some free sources in there, like this website. I'm not affiliated. It's absolutely free, but it's a great website. Go here, read everything. Draw all of these structures in your notebook, including the retracements and the targets and the rules and the guidelines. And you do this for the whole page. When you're finished, you summarize all of your notes. When you finish summarizing, you go to the chart and you're going to try to count impulsive structures and then sideways structures. So just an impulse, up, sideways, try to identify those, pull the fibs, pull the targets, and implement your knowledge. So now you switch between implementation notes. And at the beginning, you're going to be reading your notes a lot. But the better you get into implementing and the more you memorize, the less you're going to look at your notes and the more you're going to implement and count, right? And this is where slowly your progress happens. Start with the simple structures: impulse, zigzag, flat, maybe even a triangle, even though it's actually quite complex. But then move into WXYs. Do that last, not first. I recommend to also check out the playlist I have on my channel, which is this one here, which is also, in my opinion, in the order of how you want to approach learning about Elliott Wave. So impulses first, multi 1, 2, then you have the diagonals, zigzags come next, flats come next, then we have the triangles, then we have WXYs, right? The complex structures. Can you analyze S&P 500? Not now though. Maybe during an altcoin stream, because there's too much going on here, of course, to now go and analyze. So keep it easy, Mark. The alternation rule only applies to sideways, not double zigzag WXY. No, in a double zigzag, wave W and wave Y have to be a zigzag structure. So if you talk about alternation, you talk about wave 2 and 4, a sideways WXY. You do talk about alternation if you look at a B, like if an A and a B, also A and a C. But yeah, in a double zigzag, your W and your Y are both zigzags. But if W is very quick, wave X tends to take longer. Did we invalidate the upside correction? No, we are still looking to sooner or later take out the low with a corrective structure up. We took out the high, right? That was the target mentioned in the morning update, really. If you hit the 618, probability is high to take the high. That happens. So from a risk management point of view, the moment you take out this high, you know, I mean, no financial advice, but hey, if that is where your probabilities play out, it would be quite smart to at least have a TP sit there. So even if you hit resistance or not higher, right, instead of trying to maximize profits, which never works, right? It's more like a greed thing if you want to try and maximize things. But no, like we were looking for price to move up. We didn't really get a C to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It then has to be some sort of an expanding diagonal, and an expanding diagonal is very rare. But yeah, anyway, the probabilities played out. This one is also, yeah, this is shorter, this is longer. So an expanding diagonal doesn't even work here. If we look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so then we have to look for something else. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 again, for example. But probabilities are higher, this is corrective. But it just, you know, it still adds to the probabilities that I mentioned earlier in the analysis. So nothing changed from a probability standpoint. This channel in the community established a healthy way to look at the markets and life in general. We stay balanced. Amen. That's exactly what I like to see. You know, balanced both in trading, mental, and just general stuff in Discord. Yeah. Kuz is definitely the healthiest looking and sounding trader I watch. I don't know what's out there, but thanks, Hoshi. Go to the gym, everyone. Yo, cheers, Mark. Thanks for being here, man. Charts are toxic. Your wife's probably less toxic, so spend some time with her. Mine is less toxic, though. I stopped watching other traders at all. They are not comparable with the info in this channel. Thanks, Thunderin. That's very kind, man. Expanding diagonal for this wave C. No, diagonal doesn't work because your 3 is shorter than 1, but your 5 is longer than 3, and 3 is not allowed to be the shortest wave. So you're then looking for some other corrective structure, but it doesn't really change probabilities. Probabilities mentioned this morning played out, hit the 618, take out the high, and now we move down, and yeah, it's everything else is still the same. Welcome, Unstoppable Vibe. Good to have you here, man. Compared to chocolate and waffles, are they? Belgian fries, really? Are those the thick fatty ones? I like the French fries though, like the thin ones. Do you think this is a zigzag? In this case, this would be a zigzag family structure if we count it correctively, but I would need to go to lower time frames to count this, which is not something I like to do, like 5 min, 3 min. I like to stay around on 15 and higher. Oh, the higher time frame. So 4 hour, it would be the same. So in that case, if you have a finished structure here, right, then yes, looking for a WXY, higher probability WXY than an ABC. So with the move up and now retrace, we still expect to drop to, yes, still remains the same. Most probable, correct. Yo, Mark, relax, man. Okay, like I don't know what happened in the chat, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. One thing I like to do in TradingView is to go to past price action, hide how it. Oh yeah, use the replay tool. I try to map out all scenarios and then check what actually happened. Yeah, you can use the replay tool as well, bar replay here. However, if I go back in time, I'm biased because I counted it, so I know what's coming. But of course, you can like try to do it as new as possible, I suppose. Yeah, or you go to new charts that you haven't analyzed and then just count that chart. That's interesting. But yeah, this can help, especially for newer traders that don't have a whole analysis on the chart. They can easily go back in time because they haven't analyzed those structures. Pleasure, relax, bro, Mario. Cheers, guys. We can't watch SPX on altcoins because people vote for ETH. Nothing happens in a week. We did SPX recently. I think the problem with SPX was, I think we did SPX literally like what, 2 weeks ago. I'm not gonna analyze it, by the way. But I think, aren't we like all-time highs or something? Yeah. Higher probability to still take out the all-time high at some point. 886 is touched. There you go. That's as far as I go counting SPX. Because it doesn't make sense to count these type of charts as long as you don't get either a significant range or a significant move to the downside where you eventually start getting interested to analyze it. You hit the 886 from the all-time high, pulling a fib to the downside, right? You have a double top. So probabilities are higher. Any move down is corrective, not impulsive, increasing probabilities to still take out all-time high on the weekly. Imagine in real life, you're walking on the street and you see this Ferrari drive by. Like, oh, that's a rare car. And then Hoshi be like, and never preferred unless... The expanding diagonal is technically valid per new rules, as ugly as it is. But an expanding diagonal, of course, by itself is incredibly rare. Never preferred unless everything else changes. You have a shorter 3, according to new rules, not an invalidation, but still not really something to look for, to be honest. But any corrective structure here can work, but it's, again, higher probabilities corrective. But you're correct. You're correct. 3 should not necessarily be the shortest. Wave 3 is never allowed to be the shortest. So I got to check the expanding diagonals. So guys, do you expect a recession to hit USA? Oh, I'm not really into fundamentals. The Dartmoor condor still in play. Yeah, I know, right? This is what I posted earlier in Discord. Just for the fun and the giggles. I've been to through a couple of news events. So I was like, yeah, bum bum, and then sideways during the weekend, going absolutely nowhere. And then likely, if this would happen and it goes sideways during the weekend, then probably you're gonna wick this low again. For the bulls, you wanna wick it and then move up. Of course, for the bears continue, but this low wouldn't be too safe. I think. So yeah. So far, so good. Was it really a guess? Educated guess. You should check make sure everyone to just use the free version. It doesn't really make sense to pay $800. But yeah, so I would never use this unless it's the free version. But CVD is way superior over any other indicator I've seen over my years of trading. So yeah, before you consider buying indicators, of course you can buy something and it can actually help you out, right? That's good. But before you buy, first make sure you have experienced the tools in TradingView and you have actually built a strategy or tried to build a strategy, right? Else it's just a waste of money. You're putting yourself down $800 or whatever, how many, I don't even know how expensive it is, but you're putting yourself on the back foot before you actually even started, because a single indicator will never make you profitable if you just buy a green dot and sell a red dot. If it was that easy, everyone would be a fucking millionaire, right? So step one is actually work on your own plan and strategy, and then get an indicator later which might work for your way of trading, and then use that in confluence with your plan and other tools. But don't use it as a singular tool, like, and only use that and just buy on a green dot and a red dot. If you buy an indicator, and it's no problem to buy an indicator of 600,000, 1,500, 3,000, I don't know, like what's out there. But if you buy something, you still need to develop a plan around that indicator. So you still need to put time in collecting data, statistics, because again, if it was that easy to buy on green and sell on red, everyone was going to be a successful trader, right? Which is not the case. So instead of only working on a plan and a strategy after you buy it, it's actually smarter to do it before you buy it, and then add something like this when you think it can help you in your trading, right? And then collect data and statistics in confluence with that indicator you bought. It's even in the original Bible. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, in an expanding diagonal. Yeah, the new rules. The new rules. Actually interesting that 3 can be the shortest, but oh well. Still an expanding diagonal, which of course is incredibly rare, but correct. In that case, an expanding diagonal, you can have 886 touch, higher probabilities to still take out the low at some stage. Yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah, wave 3 can be the shortest. I remember the contracting diagonal because that one is a lot more common. Wave 3 can be longer than 1. But the expanding diagonal is so rare, I never look at it. So, yeah. Possible. But, yeah, wave 3 shorter than 1 and 5 in an expanding diagonal, making it even more rare. Probabilities go to 0. Is anyone here into grayscale? I think some people in Discord are, maybe some viewers as well. It is, yeah. Wait, what's the question here? From Hassan. No recession. I just remember that I wanted to ask you about SAR, stop and reverse. I don't know what SAR is. Is this a strategy? So I'm unfortunately, I can't really answer if this is a question. I can't answer it because I don't know about it. Stop and reverse. Do you mean like price moves up, stops and reverses? Oh, an indicator. Okay, yeah, that's stuff that I might have a look at maybe off stream sometime, but interesting. Yeah, I never use anything else besides CVD. 2 TPs during 1 hour. You are the best team. Yo, Thunderin, congrats, mate. You played it perfectly. Is exactly what I like to hear. Yeah, he's talking about SAR, which is stop and reverse, which is an indicator, which I don't know, so I would need to research it before I can have an opinion on it, really. Do you have... oh, yeah. Are you talking about... no, Market Cipher at the moment. But there's of course many platforms with many indicators out there. Some have subscription models, and sometimes you buy something. But if you buy something, then I recommend... So it's no problem to buy. Like, of course, there's sometimes a stigma. I actually think it's really good to pay for education. But you don't want to pay because, like, so there's 2 types of education. You have the type of people that like take pictures of their rented Lamborghini and they share it everywhere and they make videos everywhere, and then you get baited into the lifestyle, and then you get baited into their funnel, and then they get you from, look at my Lamborghini, which is rented from the shop locally, into a funnel, and then they actually don't make money drop shipping, but they make money from selling a course about drop ship, like that sort of stuff. They're not like a drop shipper, they make money about So when you look online, you'll very quickly notice trustworthy, not trustworthy type of people, I suppose, in the way they act, the way they do, the way they manage channels or business or whatever it is. And you got to make a decision on what to do. So there's definitely channels out there that provide an incredible amount of value. And it's actually, I really believe in investing in yourself. I can recommend it to everyone. I'm always studying. I'm always trying to learn new stuff. Not in trading, actually, because I got where I want to. So I'm not really interested in learning new stuff at the moment. But I am interested in, currently, I'm learning about, which is like wealth management, which has to do also with luxury goods and investing in goods as a investment, an asset, instead of a depreciating product. So something I'm learning about. I'm learning about self-development, which is something I always use or always try to do, which is the book here, Atomic Habits. Right? I have another one, which is for business, pricing, Confessions of the Pricing Man. It's a new book. Literally came in yesterday. I haven't started yet. But I'm always trying to educate myself. I think investing in education is very important. But before you invest in education, first, test the waters and don't waste. I guess what I'm saying is don't waste money. Find good people and learn from those people. And there's many out there, but there's also many scams out there, right? So even from the scammers, you learn something, I suppose. So, hey. And especially, again, with indicators, I think it's very good to invest in indicators or those type of things, but only if you already have some experience and have started building a plan, and you can add an indicator to it, because it might help you in your trading. But not buy an indicator that shows a red dot and a green dot and then be like, oh, if it's a red dot I sell, if it's a green dot I buy, and I'm going to be profitable, right? It's not how trading works. It's not how trading works. So you got to put effort and time and energy into your own plan and strat. I guess the point came across of what I tried to say. Where's my dailies, yo? Just to summarize, what I'm trying to say is always keep investing in yourself, keep learning about yourself, but don't waste money, right? Buy a course, yes. There's many crypto courses, technical analysis courses, and all that stuff. Buy it, take away what you need, and then continue working on yourself. If there's someone that says my indicator or my strategy or my XYZ is the only way to go, right? If you use my indicator and simply buy on green and sell on red, you're going to be profitable. Stay very, very far away from those type of channels, people, and indicators, right? First, work on yourself, start creating a plan, find the right people to then help you developing your plan moving forward, and maybe add an indicator which you can then buy, but don't expect it to change your life. It's still an indicator that needs to fit in an overall plan that you have to develop yourself. So if you don't have the commitment to develop a plan, then don't waste $800 on an indicator that is never going to make you profitable. Cool. The probabilities for the so it's interesting. So the probabilities question, right? Probabilities in Elliott waves are always related to the skill level of the analyst. So you have, so probabilities are subjective, right? Because the analysis by itself is done by a human. So far, there's not yet been a bot or an indicator that outperforms a human that studies Elliott waves for a week even. So it is subjective. However, if we have two skills, right? You have the skill of the Elliott wave analyst, right? And you have subjectivity, okay? If the skill of the analyst is low, right? The subjectivity is high. However, once you start studying, your skill level goes up. Equally, your subjectivity goes down. Because the better you become in Elliott waves, the less guesswork and the more accurate you're going to be, till a moment where your skill is very high and your subjectivity is very low. It will never be zero, right? There's always some sort of subjectivity involved. But if your skill level is high, your subjectivity is low, which means you can be very accurate in your Elliott wave predictions. And that is when things become tradable. Now, also, that is where you then get probabilities, because once your skill level is very high, you will be able to use chart structures, right? The waves, retracements, targets, volume, and other Elliott wave related things, time. You can use all of that to analyze the chart. And then based on how well a scenario respects all of these things together, you can say, that one has a higher probability than that one because that one respects it less than this one, right? And then you have to, of course, trade it, right? That's then the next step. But that is where the probabilities come from. The probabilities come from the analyst. Would it still be considered a low taken if we revisit the low after an 886? I'm not sure what you mean, Eric. If you touch, so we touched the 886 here, we took the low. Would it still be considered a low if we revisit the low after an 886? So if you move up here and you touch the 886, the probabilities increase for price to take the low, right? And there's always that slim chance you escape, right? Lower probability, but it happens. But other than that, I'm not really sure what you mean. Let's say it's a double bottom, but not a swing failure pattern. Yeah, then you hit the 886. But as we know, also based on data, by the way, but if you hit the 886, probabilities are high to sooner or later still take out the low or the high. Yeah. In the end, it's all data. It's all data. So after an 886 touch, probabilities are high to take the low or the high. It's never 100%, but you're not going to be expecting, like after an 886 touch, the first thought is not going to be, okay, let's go, we never come down, you know. Let's say it does not take it, but very close to it. Take it means it lower. A swing failure pattern would mean that you wick it. I don't understand it. Like if you have a low and you come back down and you take like you come close, but you didn't, that's not a swing failure pattern. Swing failure pattern is you take the low, you close the candle above, right? And then you move away. That's a swing failure pattern. For the sake of this example, you have a high, you move above, poof, swing failure, down. This is a swing failure pattern. So you take the high. You have to take the high to have a swing failure pattern. Have we hit the 886 in the right time? Oh, yeah, this is old because it already played out. We hit the 886, we took the low. So both of the probabilities of this morning played out. So yeah, can't complain. Yeah, we are now at support. Interesting. Huh? Very. So now let's see. So it's funny. Let's see. I made like a squiggly, of course, partly like it's not too random, but it's definitely something I kept in mind. So yeah. Not bad so far. Yeah, always make sure to manage it well. Professional sweeper. When you say revisit, does it have to go lower or can it be equal to the previous low? If I say if you make a low, price hits the 886, right? Probabilities are high to take out the low, which means taking it out, which means going lower than the low here. So that is eventually just going down. Does it have to go lower? If you revisit a low, I never talk about a low revisiting a low. I don't use that in my vocabulary. I have the 886. And if you touch the 886, probabilities are high to take out this low, which then means price moving down later, right? Yeah. So if you hit the 786 and price bounces on the 786, we just continue looking at structures, right? No problem. But if you hit the 886, that is important for probabilities, like directional bias. down or down. Funny how things play out like clockwork sometimes. Yeah, I know, right? And here we are. The daily is hid. We also have a little bit of like volume in here, small point of control of the structure we had here. So that's why the box is quite big. But yeah. Nice. Does any of our probability align with 51.5? 50% wick. 51. If you go to 51.5, I mean, I'm going to be looking for below 49k really. So where are we going? Lower. We're currently at support. So the probabilities, as explained this morning, I had two probabilities. One, if you hit the 618, probability is higher to take the high. Two, probabilities remain still higher to take out the low. Both of these happened during the live stream. Proud moment. So now we're at support, and we observe the reaction, right? Because as mentioned from the Elliott wave analysis with the two scenarios that we have, this area of support is most important. So now it's just patience. Whenever you say weekend is here, Marcus, the weekend is almost here. Almost here. Yeah. Well, we also got the help of a little bit of news today, of course. So not too shabby. But yeah, it's nice to see a bit of volatility. And the weekend is coming, of course, generally when the weekend is there, right? Saturday, Sunday, price goes sideways. So we'll see. Cheers, Daniel. Daniel Rizvi. I like the surname, Rizvi. In the case of a double or triple bottom, the low hasn't been truly taken. There's still a chance to break the low. Yes, even if the price is fluctuating between the low and the 886. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So the moment price hits the 886, the probabilities are higher to still take the high or the low that you pulled the 886 from. Yes, absolutely correct. Even if price ranges on top of the 886 or between the 886 and the low, right? Even if you move away from the 886, which happened here. 1 second, I'm going to show you an example. Go to the 1 hour. Where was that? It was in a downtrend. 1 sec. Oh, here. Up, touch the 886, right? Candles close below the 886. Price moves up, doesn't matter. Probabilities remain higher to take out the low. The 886 is a rare target for 2, but common for a wave B or X. Increasing probabilities any move up is a wave C or Y. This was a brilliant example of a wave C, which by the way hit resistance back in the day. We had a blue box here. The only reason I remember is because I shorted it. And then we moved down to take the low. Yeah. So and what you also often see is price making a low or a high, of course, and then come back down, touch the 886, move to the golden pocket, and then lose it. This is what happened twice yesterday. Twice. It's so I didn't draw it like low enough, but like this. Let me show it on the chart because it happened twice yesterday. Tuesday, Thursday, 15. Let's see, was it here? Yeah. 886, golden pocket, range, take the low. Was here the second one? There was another one. Well, this is also a nice 886 example, by the way. 886 was touched here, moved beyond the golden pocket, up, and then back down again. I actually had, like, we had two. Was it yesterday? Probably the people that watched my content will remember better than I do myself now. Thursday, today, of course, is Friday. Oh, wait, here. Oh, wait, here. Here it is. I'm on a higher time. No. Fuck, no, that's not the one. I thought it was this week. Anyway, we had two examples yesterday. One on the 15 minute. But doesn't matter. There's many examples still coming in the content. If you go to my videos like yesterday, it was yesterday. Here's one. Or was it then 2 days ago? Am I like clueless? Yeah, here's one. 886, golden pocket, reject, move down. So that's one, but there was another one somewhere. I don't know. No. So I can't remember everything. Blaster 33. Yeah, now of course it's all about what's going to happen before the markets close. When you say take high or low, can it be that price just barely goes above or below and that's it? Yes. Also with, because then you took the high or the low, no? Which is exactly what we talk about. So you hit the 618 here. Probability is higher to take out the high. You took out the high. It doesn't matter what happens after. What happened, like that's all management, observation, but probability is higher to take the high. Oh, we took the high. And now we took the low, which is nice. So both of the probabilities of the analysis also earlier played out. So we're happy. And now, like as mentioned in the morning update as well as in the analysis earlier, now we have to wait. Like this, it's gonna take hours, for the bulls at least. It's gonna take hours for me to see any setup towards upside here. Like you're now at support. There's not yet any strength. We just continue to move down at the moment. I'm never someone that snipes the high or the low, right? I have my plan. I have my strat. I'm well positioned. I need to see a range forming and CVDs and structures, Elliott wave structures. Like it's gonna take a while. Are the probabilities of taking out the low significantly reduced if the 618 retracement is broken? No. Only when you hit only when you move above the 1.618. Good question, Eric. So imagine you come down, price moves up, comes down again to the 886, right? Up. Golden pocket down, fine, right? Happens. If you move higher, yeah, 0.5 down, fine, fine, fine. If you take out the high, just like in the example that I showed on the 1 hour time frame, right? A couple of like weeks back, poof, still higher. But the moment you are going to pass the 1.618, and this is because of a wave C, the moment you pass beyond, so the moment you move beyond the 1.618 trend-based fib taken from the low to the high to the low, the moment you're going to pass this one, that's when the probabilities decrease. Because now you have the potential for a wave 3. Because again, like mentioned, the 886 is common for a wave B or a wave X, which means if you get a move up, you're looking for a wave C or a wave Y. Common target for C and Y is the 1 to the 1.236. The 1.618, however, is still a C target. If you move beyond the 1.618, probabilities increase, you're looking at a 3. And of course, before you hit the 1.618, there will be other signs already that will increase probabilities of continuation based on the structure and the volume. But this, based on just like hard theory, then that's what you're looking for. What F word? Can you see in the 1 hour time frame can be an expanding triangle is very rare, never preferred unless everything else fails. So it wouldn't be something I'd look for. I would recommend to look at other structures before expanding triangles. I don't also actually know where to see an expanding triangle. A, B, C. This is not like, yeah. If this is a triangle A, B, C, D, E, then a triangle is related to this move up in time, but the triangle is way too long. So there's not really something I'm looking for that looks like a triangle at the moment. Yeah. We haven't taken the all-time high yet, 886 yet. Is there any time range rule that invalidates that taking out? Time-wise, no. It's more a price retracement, which is important. Yeah. Not really time. If you like, we can, however, based on theory, we can think about it, because if you, this is the thing, on the daily, we start to look for complex structures as well, and these can be very long. If in a wave W, so this is of course time, if you have a very simple A, B, C, and B hits the 886, after C you want to see continuation. However, the moment this becomes a W, then you're going to be looking for an X, and then you still have a Y, and in other words, that 886 can stand for a very long time before eventually you'll see it taken. But of course, the target for your Y and C, preferably not passing the 1.618, is still important. And I actually have an example in my head of when we touched an 886 here. So this one also took quite long. So here we touched the 886. As you can see, price moved down. 886, right? And then we didn't go up, right? We range Tuesday, right? And then Wednesday, and we go down again, and only then eventually did we go up. But you can see 886 was here, and only here we moved up. So it took, this was on Monday. We finally took the highs out on Saturday, right? And this is a 1 hour time frame. So yeah, it can take a while. And here, of course, we do have a big extension down. But the reason the probabilities remained higher to take the highs is because of the structure, right? It's not impulsive. This was corrective structure, not impulsive structure, right? So this one, of course, extended to the 1.618, but it wasn't an A, B, and then a wave C to the downside, potentially being a 1, 2, 3, right? This was higher probabilities to be corrective. So, yeah. If only it was as easy as if this, then that. 4 hour chart with a trend line. Yeah, a little bit of extra confluence in the box in that case. Yeah. Stephen Chen, more likely coming up. Now we just wait. We have to wait for the reaction here. That's the sensible thing as a trader now, is to just wait for this. Wait for the reaction. Probabilities were higher for price to take out this low anyway. First take the high because we touched the 618, which happened, and now take the low. So perfect, like absolutely like textbook. But now that played out, we want to see the reaction here, right? We want to wait, see what happens. Do we get a range? Do we get continuation? This will give us information. Trading is a lot about patience as well. Can you explain why taking the 618 today meant taking the high? Yeah. So let me actually, I can do it. Of course, I can show it here, but I already spoke about it. So let me do it differently. The moment you get a three-wave structure down, and this leg here is on a high amount of volume, right? What you look, okay. I am gonna use. I said this in the morning update. The answer is basically in the morning update. But so what you see here is price moving down, and the highest amount of volume in this local move down is in the low, right? Now, from an Elliott wave point of view, there is going to be two things that you're going to be looking for, right? This is a wave 3 or a wave C, or potentially finishing a Y, but a wave Y would still be a C. So either a 3 or a C. In an impulse, you're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that means you want a 4 and a 5. And then the 5 on lower volume. However, the invalidation for a wave 4 is the 618, which we touched. Right? Take a 618 from 2 to the low of 3. And the moment the 618 is touched, it invalidates a wave 4. Now this then means, right, that the probabilities are higher that this is a three-wave structure and not an impulse. And because the probabilities increased that this is a three-wave structure, A, B, C, W, X, Y, doesn't matter, it automatically increases the probabilities to take out the high. And that is then what happened later. Right? So it was a combination of volume together with C or 3. Now, if we would be looking for a flat in an A, B, C, this move here, can it be an expanding diagonal? Yes, like Stuba said, but it's very rare, never preferred. So it's going to be interesting to observe the reaction here because the question is going to be, is this move also still part of a correction or not? But we'll wait. It's all about just waiting for the reaction now anyway. Finding support soon. Yeah, we're at support now as well. Karen K, welcome, man. You're welcome. I'm happy to read that stuff. You know, it's great to see people learn a thing or two while they're hanging out here. So nice, man. And it's also nice that you, in the end, you learn it yourself, right? I give things, but it's up to people to implement, learn it, teach it, use it. So congrats on yourself, man. It's nice to see. Nice to see. Martin, it's one word. Would be a t-shirt, like put it on a t-shirt. Very rare, never preferred. Yeah, can take a long time. We have done XRP, so we have done Solana yesterday and ADA and XRP, I think 2 live streams ago, altcoin streams. It's also time for me to go soon though, guys. So Solana was here, East Solana here as well. ADA, was it here? Somewhere. Oh yeah, here. ADA and XRP are 2 weeks ago. Probably not too much change, but yeah. Pleasure, Yaniv. Yo, Power Meet, how you doing, man? When you see a new CVD, at what point you get in a trade? That's strategy related, which is something I cannot talk about. When do I get in a trade would be also talking about like signals. So generally how CVD works, of course, is you want CVD in confluence with your other tools. And of course, preferably if you use CVD, you have market structure coming with you as well. So, but when I exactly enter a trade and stuff, that would be diamond things. I would have to answer this with a no unless we continue to see weakness here. So if prices dump straight through the support, then probabilities increase. But at the moment, now you're in between the two scenarios. You're at support. This is your most interesting support. And now you have to be patient to observe the reaction here, right? Failing to hold this, and yes, Florian, you get higher probabilities. But it's a bit too early. So we cannot say that just yet. Now it's just waiting. Yeah. What do you think about I don't know. I've never traded ICT. I've only watched a few videos back in the day because I'm always enjoying to learn. So I was curious, but holy moly, like some of his videos of 1 hour can literally be done in 5 minutes. So it was very tough to probably some of you will know. It's very tough to get through that content, Joe, and keep your eyes open. But does it work? I mean, I guess, in a way, every strategy works as long as you implement it correctly, use it maybe with some other tools, and have a mindset that works with the strat. Does it work in a ranging market? I guess it does, but I've never traded ICT. So I wouldn't really be able to answer the question because I never used it myself. I never traded like it. I just developed my own stuff, and I use Elliott waves, of course. Pleasure, Zed. Cheers, Hoshi. No, you want to move below 54, right? You want to go to like 53, let's say. You want to invalidate the diagonal would be 52.8. So that's an important level. As long as you're above 52.8, you can still have a diagonal here as well. So I got to be patient. And if price hits 52.8, then we'll analyze the chart again to see if there's still some hope for the bulls. It's not looking that great. Not talking about now, but just on a 4-hour time frame, like the 3-wave structure up, like there's still potential for a WXY 268 or a potential big diagonal, but it's way too early to talk diagonals. It's still a bit early to talk triangles. It's just waiting now. Like it's local price action is most interesting. I don't talk like I don't have my I don't that's funny. I don't have a gut feeling in trading. I just trade what the price gives me. I don't care about 49k. I don't care about 68k. I don't care about the reaction where we are now at local support. I wait now and I just observe the reaction. Or I don't care about the move down, I should say, at support, but I care about the reaction. That's what I care about. So my gut feeling is completely like, I don't mind. But based on probabilities, the daily and the 4-hour time frame, right, probabilities are not looking great for the bulls, as explained in a live stream somewhere earlier this week. And the bulls would need more time for probabilities to increase because they need a lot more proof. Like the bulls need a lot more proof than the bears at the moment. So for the bulls, basically what you want to see is price to hold support and move up to increase the probabilities that this move down is a 3-wave structure or a C or an A or a 1, of course that's bearish, but then at least you get the opportunity to move to the upside still, right? Which is of course what the bulls need as a bare minimum. So it's difficult to be very bullish. Cheers, Martin. Samsung United, check the links in the description below Elliott Wave Education. There's 2 free sources. Then you have the book, Elliott Wave Principle, and of course the gold membership here. But you can check out the free resources first, and that's what I recommend. Get a notebook out and a pen and go through the free resources. And then eventually implement. Which sport do you do most often? Running and fitness. I answered this one here. Would you say you have some Dutch courage? I definitely have Dutch directness, and I didn't know Dutchies were famous for their courage. So am I courageous, or do I have a lot of courage? I don't know. I guess in some areas I do, and in some others I don't. But I definitely have Dutch directness. I'm a very direct person. Bearmarket trades ICT. Best setup you get in a ranging market. There you go. That's the answer. Suleiman, welkom. Goed dat je er bent. Do we expect 3 waves down or 5, and what would it mean? It would now be like that. It would be time to watch the analysis, because at the moment, this move down here is labeled as a 5-wave diagonal or a multi 1-2. As shown in the analysis. And now we hit the important support, which was written in the thumbnail as well. So where was it? 54K important. Why 54K is the most important support for Bitcoin? Like my thumbnails always tell you what I'm looking for or what the probabilities are. Or it's never clickbait. I don't like to be a clickbait bitch. So maybe I can say very extreme things and people click more, but I don't care about that. I care about delivering on the thumbnail promise. So yeah, all my thumbnails is always what I talk about. So 54K has been spoken about a couple of times, and now we just observe. So we're either looking for the multi 1-2 or a diagonal here. But in both cases, this area is very, very important. So it's just observing the reaction if we get any. If price is just going to do this, I mean, clear. But for me to switch bullish, I would need a bare minimum. I would need price to range here. So, which at the moment, of course, it's too early. You need a lot of courage to do Elliott waves. I think you need what's up, Ben, by the way? I think with Elliott waves, you need a lot of determination and commitment, because it takes a lot of time, a lot of rules. It involves drinking beer. Oh, I'm not a beer drinker. So in that case, I don't have a lot of Dutch courage. Oh, yeah. I'm glad your channel is slowly but surely getting the attention and following it deserves. Thank you, Yannis. I mean, I don't tend to look too much at the numbers in subscribers. The channel grows every day, sometimes by a few, sometimes by more subscribers. But in the end, the channel grows. I don't really, again, tend to look at the numbers too much. I just want to focus on the content and delivering the best content I can. And if I continue to do a good job and people enjoy it, then the numbers will automatically increase. And if I'm absolutely shit, the numbers decrease. So it's like the subscribers are a reflection of my work, basically. And of course, the channel has grown from 0 to 13.5K in 1.5 years. So I guess I do something right. But I guess there's, channels that grow quicker and channels that grow slower, and you can do marketing and that sort of stuff. That's, but I'm always improving in different areas. And Jeroen, my employee on the channel since a couple of months, has done a great job with certain designs and making things more professional. Right, because as the channel grows, you also want to have a more professional look and feel to it. So September is always horrible, so we pray for October and elections. Can that be a bullish pattern? A bullish pattern locally would be the diagonal as shown here in the analysis. I'm a teetotal too, more than 4 years. T Clepson, Trans Pro. You have something with the T as well, eh? I'm subscribed with 5 different accounts. Now the main question is, do you also watch with 5 different accounts? So what I always tell my, thanks by the way, Lucifer Ancestors. What I always tell my family is, so first of all, I never in the beginning, I didn't tell anyone except my friends, my business friends, that I started the channel. Eventually, of course, you talk about it, and people subscribe, and they say, "Oh, I'll subscribe to your channel. I support you." But then I say, "But do you watch?" Because if, for example, my mom subscribes to support what I do, but she doesn't watch the content, it actually hurts the channel. Because if you have a subscriber that's not watching, right, the algorithm basically says it's not interesting. You know what I mean? So what you're like, ideally you have people that subscribe and also watch the content, and they don't have to watch everything, right? I post so much content, I can imagine people can't even keep up. But at least you want, of course, a percentage watching. You don't want to have many accounts that never watch, because they only want to support you. So I always I say, Mom, yeah, I appreciate it. I love the fact you want to support me, but please don't subscribe because you're not gonna watch. So yeah, I'll just keep her up to date, as an example. RSI is oversold. Yeah, the problem with RSI is that price can significantly move into a direction still being oversold or overbought. The best example is on the daily time frame. I say this sometimes because it's interesting. When price was at 34K, you can go to your daily RSI indicator. You had a bearish RSI divergence here at 34. We eventually made a high at 73. So yeah, you can have a significant continuation even if RSI is oversold or overbought. In that case, it was overbought though. So yeah. When are the merch coming? Bring on the merch. First need a website. Thanks for being excited. It's of course a matter of time. That was my alarm, by the way. But I first need a website. But before I can really start the development of the website, I need to have a vision of where is the channel going to be in 5 years. Like recently, and this, it got me thinking. Recently, someone, I think even on stream, someone asked me, "Yo, Koen, you're 1.5 years in. What's your vision? Right? Where are you going with the channel?" Oh no, it was a disc also in the chat, but also someone in Discord DM, because I'm chatting to everyone. And then I was like, well, that's a good question, because when I started the channel, I knew what I wanted to try and achieve in the first year. Like, I upload 3 times a day, and like I had a subscriber goal, which I actually reached by like 200 over. Like I had 5.6k, and by New Year's Eve I had 5.8 or something. But it got me thinking, like, yeah, I actually don't really have a very clear vision of, in 5 years this is where I'm looking to go. And that is why on my planner, which is this one here, I have a priority list. So of course I have like goals, 10-year, 5-year, 1 year, monthly, weekly, and then I have a priority list, and also I have weekly, whatever, it's advanced. And in the priority list, I also have YouTube vision, YT vision, 5 years. I wrote it down. I still have to start, but I spoke with a guy last weekend. So I was in Monza in Italy. And I was with a guy, and he is very successful in business. Like we are like, it's one of the big ones, right? Like big fish. So like nuts. That's like, you want to go there. So I was chatting to the guy, and we were talking about the channel. and also eventually about how to effectively grow the channel, where I sometimes am a little bit stressed because there's a lot going on. Like I try to reply to every comment on YouTube and answer the questions on Discord and Telegram, and that's just, of course, that's normal. But then you make content, 2 videos and a live stream. There are certain projects running in the background, some with Jeroen, some with other people. Like there's a lot of different moving parts, and you try to give everything a bit of attention. But basically, what you eventually want to do is, you're the artist, like a Taylor Swift, right? She is the artist and she performs, but she doesn't run the whole like thing below her and the business and whatever. So I guess that where I want to go to eventually is, I'm the creator, but I need it like team and people to pick up the rest. So then you go to management, employee, like right? And of course, it's a global channel. It will always have a global focus. And yeah, so we just started chatting about, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And it started to make me think, and also Discord comment and some YouTube comments like, where do you want to go? I don't know. I have to think about it. And then based on that, I can make choices on, I'm going to make a website with this partner because they have global experience and US experience or Asia experience or whatever, right? I can use this system, or I can have employees in those countries, or and then, but before I can make choices, I need to know where I'm going. So I need to think about it. What language do you tell your mom that? English, Dutch, or French? Dutch. Most of the time, Dutch. Yo, Unstoppable Vibe. Thanks, man. Yeah, Mr. Jeffrey. That's really cool. You mentioned him as well. Are you a subscriber to Elliott Wave International? BBL, 51K incoming. So far, doing a good job at least. Team Force for good templates and a modified WordPress CMS. Many have shopping integrated. Yeah. So I'm not a guy that, like, I want to focus on what I am good at. So, this is something I learned from my dad, where, like you want to focus on your set of skills and then try to delegate other stuff that you either have no interest in or you're not good at, right? And you can better just pay someone that enjoys doing that, and it saves you time, right? Compared to trying to do it yourself and then learn, unless it is a skill you want to learn. I don't want to learn how to build a website, so I pay someone to build a website. But I need to. I have a company that I'm talking to, but I first want to work on my vision. So probably tomorrow on Saturday, I'm gonna spend a lot of time on thinking about where to go in the future. Rumble, other platforms, also other verticals. There's also other things like, I have an entrepreneurial like mind. I've been an entrepreneur for 6-7 years now, and multiple businesses, and I still see other stuff. There's more that I like to do. I see opportunities, but I don't really have the time to get into these. But if I would only focus on creating the content, then I do have the time. So it's management. But this is my problem, not your problem. Do you trade on the side while streaming? Yes, I always have my window open on my other screen. I have a 2-screen setup. If you follow me on Instagram, I quite often show like stuff I'm like of my office, or I'm uploading a video, or if I go out to the beach or France or in the city or the gym, So you will be able. I actually made a video on my. Oh damn! I forgot about my appointment. Lol. Oh, fuck! Should have set an alarm. Oh, I can't believe I missed the appointment. Oh, man, I had a hair appointment at 4 p.m., which is an hour ago, and here I am streaming at 5. I better call them. Oh well. Oh, that's stupid. Oh, that's actually really pissing me off. Good, sorry. Okay, now I have to change that. It's time to end anyway. I've been live for a long time. Way too long. Way too long. Fuck, man. Okay, next week. It was actually an important one. Anyway. A wave 4 can hit the other side of the trend channel and not break it, but preferably you break it. So what's your thoughts on the chart? See the analysis above, because this is where I spoke about everything. Polls. That's where Bitcoin Elliott wave channel pretty much comes in, I suppose, to see what other people do. Yeah, I always have a cap. No, I just plan streaming around other appointments. So, oh well. Yeah, just wait for the reaction here. So, okay, time to go. I have to manage other appointments now and do some other stuff anyway. I also have other work. I've been online for 2.5 hours, which is way overdue, but I did enjoy it. I always love chatting, but I can't do this too often. I need to stick to my agenda, and I completely forgot to set an alarm in my agenda. I had it in my agenda, but I don't have everything is on silent in my phone, so there's not like a loud beep like, yo guy, you gotta go. So yeah, that's stupid. That's on me. But anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for asking all the questions. Mind you, I love the chatting. I love the interaction. I love you guys talking about Elliott waves and being here. But I just, of course, have to manage my time. So tonight will be an update, evening update. It is weekend. Make sure you know that the weekend equals random content uploads. There's no guarantee I upload anything except for the altcoin stream on Sunday, which is a guarantee because this weekend I have the time. So on Sunday we have an altcoin stream. Other than that, the weekend is random and depends on the price action to see what happens. Generally, it means I still upload some content, but it might not be like 3 in a day because I do other stuff in the weekend as well. So just so you know. But thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. And I'll make sure to see you later.